What is up with my gang? What is up with my squad? T-Gang in this thing. What's poppin' with y'all? What's up, T-Gang? Welcome back to my channel. So today I will be doing a reaction to Chicago American Gangster Gakirah Barnes, aka K.I from Tookaville/STL. If I sound like I'm a little sleepy, it's because I just woke up. It is literally 7:45 in the morning and it is raining outside, so I apologize for the weather. Smash the like button, comment something you want to see below, and subscribe and click the bell and join the gang. If you're new, then definitely subscribe because we're going nowhere but up. And follow me on my social medias. Definitely follow me on my Instagram, __ is Tania's World. And follow me on my TikTok, is Tania's World. But we're going to get to this reaction. I tried to film it yesterday and I was not feeling it. The mood and the vibe wasn't there. And I'm like, your girl gotta have the mood and the vibe there. It's just like setting the mood. I don't know, just setting the mood. I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but we're gonna get to it. So
my young niggas, they gon' murder. My young niggas, they gon' murder. You fuck around, but don't fuck around, so you fuck around and get murdered. My young niggas, they gon' murder. They cook a nigga just like Curtis. What's your name? You ain't making no noise, nigga, I ain't never heard it. You fuck around, but don't fuck around, so you fuck around and get murdered. Hey, my young niggas, they be monsters. They're ambushing hood.
I'm probably gonna get copyrighted for this. And it's not even my first choice.
If you saw my video on 600 Breezy, you heard in the song that I played at the end of the video, he said, they asked me what I'm smoking on, it's that K.I. And if you're familiar with Chicago gang culture, you know one of the legends of the
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't know that this dude did a video on 600, I think he said Breezy. It's a whole bunch of 600s. I'm starting to realize that. I'm not sure if y'all want me to, but I think I'm gonna do it anyways. I think I'm gonna do a reaction to that because he be saying some stuff. Like some stuff I'll be like, dang, you was crazy for saying that. But then again, I'm not from Chicago, so maybe that's just a normal thing. So I think I'm gonna do that. So let me know in the comments down below if y'all want me to do a reaction to that, because I didn't know that this dude did a video about that. So I think I'm gonna have to check that out.
In Chicago, who went by that name, young 17-year-old girl who got gunned down at 17, a member of that Tookaville St. Lawrence Boys GD set on the south side in Woodlawn, who went by the nickname K.I. Her real name was Gakirah Barnes, a 17-year-old girl, also went by the nickname Lil Snoop, who was known as one of the most, she had a notorious reputation for being a killer. The situation with this girl, with Gakirah Barnes, this is one of like the most heartbreaking, gut-wrenching situations that I see in Chicago, and it's not something that's uncommon. This kind of thing, I mean, someone going to the extent that Gakirah Barnes did, where you have a girl going to that extent, is not that common for it to be a female like that. But that kind of social dynamic in the city is extremely common. It's too common. This is not an anomaly, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of different things in play here, so I'm going to go into kind of what was going on here. So Gakirah Barnes, you know, if you go all the way back to the beginning of her life, her father was killed when she was only 1 year old. So, you know, Barnes was coming up in that area with the around the St. Lawrence Boys down there on the south side, and when she got to be a teenager, she started hanging out with them. Now, you know, it's not exactly clear how exactly she started hanging out with that group, but in 2011, a 15-year-old member of that group by the name of Shondell Gregory, whose nickname was Tooka,
Dang,
was shot to death while he waited for a bus. Now, you know,
Alright, see if I
This
was
is
recording.
something that's been talked about in a lot of rap songs. You know, E-Day was talking in some of his songs about I'm gonna put you under the bus like Tuka or whatever that, you know, whatever he was saying. But they renamed their gang Tuka Gang, those St. Lawrence boys, those GDs down on the south side, and they, you know, they took the name Tookaville. Now Gakirah, she took the Facebook name Tookaville Kira. Okay, so she, you know, at this point was associating herself with that gang. Now, about 8 months after that, a 20-year-old rival gang member named Odie Perry was killed, and you know, this was the guy after whom O Block was later named. This was a BD. And Gakirah was reported to have been the hitter and the killer of Odie. Okay, now this is one of, you know, the most notorious murders in recent Chicago history. You know, the murder that caused the renaming of that block to be named O Block. And for Gakirah to be the murderer of Odie, or the reported murderer of Odie, you know, gained her a lot of street cred and a lot of street fame. You know, guys were tweeting like, you know, so Odie was killed by a girl, whatever, and kind of, you know, dissing the BDs because of that.
Swiper, he is swiper. My shooters, they got shooters spot him. Drop him out the work. All these L's, he be strapped. Make him dance, Harlem Nights. Pussy, money, murder, all they have been a fight.
Bro, okay, I'm gonna be honest. This, like, it sounds, I think all, see, I kind of can't. I could say that, but then I can't say that. Because I'm thinking about it from, like, where I'm from, too. Like, from Chicago, different people that don't get along with each other, they sound alike, but then they don't sound alike. From what I'm hearing from Chicago, it kind of sounds, well, this was earlier, like in 2000. I think this is like 2011. This sounds like that Chief Keef type stuff from, like, when he was like, don't like and love Sosa. This is what that sounds like. That's why I'm assuming that's when this song came out. Like, now it's a little different, but it still kind of sound the same. I don't know. That's like actually a tight type of thing to think about. That's why I'm just sitting here like, dang, that's a little tight.
My young niggas, they gon' murder. I said my young niggas, they gon' murder. My young niggas, they gon' murder. You fuck around, but don't fuck around, so you fuck around and get murdered.
Gakirah lost another member of her gang, a guy by the name of Carlton Archer. His nickname was Tutu. November 2011, he was shot to death. She posted a photo up of saying R.I.P. Carlton, and she was, you know, had a picture of herself like she was praying. But the killing that really affected K.I. the most was her cousin, Tae Kwon Tyler. He was only 13. She looked at him apparently, you know, like a little brother. You know, I didn't know K.I. I had never substituted at her school. I had never known anybody that had known her personally, but, you know, from what people were saying, she was really close to this kid, this 13-year-old kid, and he was killed. He had actually moved out of the area, and he came back on a visit, and he got caught up in some straight gunfighting.
This is the song. I'm gonna let it play because it's part of the video. I don't even think I don't know what he's talking about. But I think for me right now, it's the beat. I think that's what it is. I'm starting to figure out there's certain people that I could actually listen to, watch an interview by them, but then when I listen to their music, I'm like, nah, I don't really like it. I think for this, in this situation, I think his voice ain't the problem, it's the beat. I don't know.
In the county, shit real, niggas get shanked in the face. Niggas chasing them trays, we on the tray, cracking trays. Ran a train on your bitch, she caught it right in the face. Dope check and be line, burning, that's the gun line. Lil' Troy, you crossing, you end up on the headlines. Niggas dissing the guys like we ain't make their career. Catch a flight out in Cali, I make them keep this a pill.
And the emotional toll that this took on her kind of was translated into anger. She took the Twitter handle Tae Kwon Assassin, kind of insinuating that, you know, now she's just ready to kill in response to this murder. Now, during this time, you know, the drill movement was really picking up steam in Chicago around 2011, 2012, and the BDs and the GDs were going back and forth. And occasionally in some of the songs, like in this one song, Murda, which I'm going to try to play on this video if it won't block it on YouTube, but a rapper named Young Dutchy mentioned that, you know, K.I. is my young killer. Certain members of Tutu Gang were making statements that were basically suggesting that Gakirah Barnes was doing a lot of the hits that were being attributed to the GDs down there. They were saying, you know, they were tweeting like, oh, you other ends are afraid to do the dirty work, but, you know, my young female hitter, you know, K.I., she's willing to do what you guys are afraid to do. There were statements coming out in the music and on Twitter that were basically giving K.I. a reputation of being a killer. Now, the police were not able to pin anything on her, though. There was no concrete evidence that she had done any of these hits. There were no concrete evidence that she had killed Odie, or any of the other, or JoJo, or any of the other BDs, but yet she was getting this reputation from the streets, and people were starting to, like, talk about her like she was doing this stuff. Okay, so the cops didn't know, but the streets pretty much knew. Now, in that video, Murder, she's actually in the video. So they at this point, you know, put her in the video. She's wearing a bandana, though. Now, the next big hit, and probably the biggest hit after the hit on Odie that was attributed to K.I., was on April 9th, 2014. Chief Keef's cousin, Blood Money, was killed. Now, he was 30 years old. And you know, by this time, by 2014, Chief Keef had blown all the way up. Everybody knew him. And his cousin Blood Money was well known. He was a father of 5. When he got killed, that murder got a lot of attention. And, you know, there was chatter going around on the streets that K.I. was the killer. She didn't make any online statements about it, and the police didn't pin anything on her. Right? But just 12 days before that, though, she had lost another gang member, a 19-year-old by the name of Rasan Shaw. His nickname was Little B. He allegedly pointed a gun at the cops during a foot chase, and the cops had shot him. And she put out a statement on Twitter that said, "No surrender, Little B. I didn't see too many of my ends in the casket. In the end, we all die." And she had posted that on April 11th. Now, Lil J, who I'm going to talk about in an upcoming video, and I know you guys all know who Lil J is. He's a member of that Flyboy gang, that FBG. This is, by the way, is another name for that Tookaville gang, in case you guys don't know. He was taunting.
See, that's what I didn't know. I just learned what FBG stood for. I didn't know that that's the same thing. Well, now it makes sense, cause okay. In one of my reactions, because I can't remember what reaction it was, she was with a dude that looked just like her. And I think I said they look alike. I forgot his name, but he had FBG in front of his. So it makes sense. I didn't think to put 2 and 2 together. Now I'm a little upset. But look, it makes sense now. That freaking rain outside is vicious. I ain't going outside. I can see the trees blowing. Ooh.
You know, he was saying, I'm sipping on that Blood Money, you know, showing himself drinking like this red drink out of a cup. And on April 11th, just 2 days after that hit, after the Blood Money hit, K.I. was killed. She was gunned down, reportedly by a 14-year-old. She was hit. She suffered multiple gunshot wounds and bled out on the steps of a house, and she was buried close to her father. Now, her mother made several statements to the media, which I'm not going to quote, but basically saying that, you know, she was a good girl, and you know, all the flexing on social media was just image. She wasn't really about that life. That was just stuff that she was saying online in order to, you know, get her reputation up.
Okay, now he either, well, not he, my bad, I didn't mean to say he. Either she, trying to say that to cover her daughter, or she really wasn't about that life. I ain't saying it like that, but I'm saying from what he's saying that she said. Either she really wasn't about it. Sure, if my freaking kid ain't about it, I don't know if I would have said anything. Because now it just looked like all this stuff that your kid was doing was to either fit in or whatever their reasoning is. I feel that the mom is saying that to cover up for her daughter. She ain't here no more, so she can't freaking defend herself, so the mom gotta do it now. I think she's trying to cover. I would cover, well, I ain't saying I would cover up for my daughter doing all these killings, but well, okay, I ain't even got no kids right now, but if you have a kid, I'm pretty sure that you will take anything so that they don't have to go to jail or they don't have to die first or whatever the case is. That's what I feel, because I think I would do that. Don't no parent want to see their kid locked up or dead, in my opinion, because all the parents I've met, they like, yeah, I would take the blame. I would too.
And she wasn't really the kind of person that people were portraying her to be in the media. Now, for those of you guys who are new to my channel,
I keep looking at my camera before it dies. When I die, shut off.
I worked in the Chicago public high schools for about the last 12 years. I've gotten to know hundreds, if not thousands, of young girls like this, like Gakirah Barnes, who are coming up in her situation. I didn't know her personally, and I don't like to speculate on people's, motivations and what's going on in their internal psychology, because it's much more complex usually than it appears on the surface, even with something that appears to be as obvious as this. But I'll say this just in general about the issue of acceptance and peer pressure and cultural environments among these teens in Chicago. When I see normally like young girls trying to gain acceptance, 99% of the time they try to do it sexually. They're trying to have sex with a bunch of dudes. They're trying to be as attractive as they can possibly be. This is normally what I see. I'm friends with a lot of teens in the hood on social media, on Facebook, and they're posting up pics of themselves half naked, with their booties sitting on the counter, and this kind of thing. This is how they try to gain acceptance. At that age, the acceptance of one's peers is like the most important thing in your life. It's more important than what your parents think about you. It's more important in your future than what job you're going to get down the road. Being accepted by other people your age that you go to school with and that are in your neighborhood is like the most important thing to these kids. And like I said, most of them go that other route. However, in certain areas of the city, like the ones where I work, like the schools where I work at. Now, I work mostly on the west side high schools. I don't work on the south side where Gakirah Barnes was at. But it's pretty much the same issue on the west side. In these areas, right, there's a culture in place where you get respect by being about that gang life.
I'm gonna get copyright.
I'm young and I'm with it. Guns everywhere. Fuck the kids cause I'm in it. Oh, let's do it.
See?
Oh, let's do it. Oh, let's do it. Oh, let's do it.
Well, that part's tight.
And this goes for like everybody,
with his
boys
voice
and girls. Now, normally girls don't, go to the extent of getting involved in that. But if they do that, that respect is...
I'm gonna just turn it off. I didn't mean to say die, y'all. I meant to say my camera gonna shut off. But we're gonna get back to it.
For them to get as well, right? One thing that a lot of these guys talk about in their videos is I got money, right? And getting money will get you respect. However, in the street culture, there's a certain level of respect that you can't even achieve by getting money. Like, Drake has a lot of money. Chris Brown has a lot of money. A lot of these, rappers, a lot of guys have a lot of money. But even those guys that have 10 times as much money as some of these street guys would not get the level of respect in the streets that someone who's committed murder can get. The highest level of respect in the streets is being a killer, someone who's caught bodies. And the more bodies you've caught, the more respect you get. And it's at the point right now where it doesn't even matter what the reason was that you caught the bodies. All that matters is that you've got bodies, that you've killed people. And, you know, even if you don't have any money, even if you're dead broke, if you've killed people and people know that you've killed people, that's going to get you a certain level of respect. And actually, in some circles, in some social circles, and, you know, I know people who are like this, they will actually make fun of you and call you a lame if you haven't killed anybody. It's like you have to kill somebody just to be accepted by this social group. Oh, it is. This is the point where it's at in certain parts of the city. And, you know, in certain, I don't want to say in certain parts because, like, not everybody in that neighborhood will be part of that social environment, but in certain worlds, in certain social circles, this is the norm. You know, where you have to have killed someone to be respected and accepted by this group. And for a young girl who's at an age when a lot of girls are insecure, you know, and are looking for acceptance and are looking for love, to gain the acceptance of guys and of older guys, especially a girl who didn't have a father in her life,
Really, 16
I can see
minutes
how
in?
that would be a tremendously alluring prospect, and why she would be willing to do anything to get that. Now, again, I didn't know Gakirah Barnes. I don't know if that's why she did what she did. I'm just speculating, and I'm actually not even speculating on her specific situation, but I'm just talking in generally. You know, these teenage girls, like, the acceptance of guys at that age is huge. You know, and to gain
I
that.
think, like, when you in your teens, for me, I experienced it in middle school. So by the time I was in high school, I didn't really care because I had already got, like, all my friends in high school wanted guys' attention. I was getting that in freaking middle school. So by the time I hit high school, I was just like, I didn't even care if a dude talked to me or whatever. To be honest, I didn't go to school with the finest looking dudes. No offense to the people I went to school with, but I was either, we was either friends or I didn't talk to you. Like, I was really quiet in school, so. But there is some girls out there that be really just wanting dudes' attention. I think that's because when you're a teenager, your body, like guys and girls, your body is like starting to go through changes and hormones and stuff. So I think that's what kind of causes people to want the opposite. I ain't gonna say the word. I'm just not gonna say the word. But the opposite gender. There we go. That's what people do to get the person they like. There we go. I'm not getting thrown in this whole she don't like them people, that community. I love the community. I'm not a part of the community, but I love the community. I don't know what in the world going on. Why you can't say nothing bad? Or, well, it's not even bad. I'm not saying nothing bad. So don't take it personal. I'm not. So we can get this see eye to eye. I'm not saying nothing bad.
Acceptance in a way which really would take you to the ultimate level of acceptance, to where you'll even be like a hero, respected even more than the guys in that social circle. I mean, I can see how that would be a temptation. It would just be almost impossible to resist. It's like I say over and over again in my videos, if you can't get love, respect is the next best thing. And getting a lot of respect is a really good thing. And to kill somebody and to be known as a killer and a hitter gets you a lot of respect in Chicago. Now, you might ask, why does it get you a lot of respect? Like, why do people respect that? Well, the gang culture in Chicago, you got to take it back with the history all the way to the earliest days, you know, and the people who were willing to kill for the gang were the people who, you know, were considered to be the most loyal because they had the most dirt on them. You know, they're not going to snitch because, like, the cops are going to bust them before anybody else. You know, like, how could somebody who's killed somebody snitch on somebody who's just sold dope? It's like the cop would want to lock up the killer before they lock up the dealer. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the killer was considered the most loyal gang member, and, you know, they were the person who was respected and valued the most by the gang. And Chicago has been run by gangs, basically, for a long time. And we're not just talking about black gangs, we're talking about European gangs, the Italian mafia, the Russian mafia, the cartels. The cartels are active here.
I ain't gonna lie. All them freaking gangs he just said. My people that is from Chicago. I just want to know how crazy it can get from one race to the next race. Like, what if one race and another race don't like each other? And y'all see each other in the street. How is that gonna play out? I'm really curious. Because I where I'm from, we don't get... Well, like, we get, like... I think I met a couple of European... Well, we get more, like, Russians. I'm not sure if that's... I think that's, like, in the same region. I'm not sure. I ain't sure, I'm gonna be honest. The schools I went to didn't really teach us about the maps. Last time I learned about a map, I was in freaking elementary school. I learned about it in high school, but it wasn't, like, learning what every place is called. So I kind of forgot all the other races he just said. I don't think I've met. To be honest, when I meet people, I don't even really talk to them about like what they are. I have a friend that we've been friends since middle school and I still don't know what she is. But other than that, I don't freaking know. So I could have met all these other races, but all the people that's from Chicago, I really want to know how that go when two different races don't like each other in Chicago. This video already crazy. And we're not even talking about the other races. So, leave that down below. Please.
And people who kill for the gang are the most down. They're the most with it. You know what I'm saying? So, because of the long history of gangs that we have in this city, killing gets the respect that it does.
That's some shit that they feel. Niggas, hoes, they be queer. I got crack for your ear. Man, them highs, the skies. I'm taking off in that left. White, Remy, and dope. White hoes and coke. No, I ain't no coach. Cause me, I'm more like a player. At the top of the key. Crossover then layup. If you...
Now, that's not true in all corners of the city. Like, for example, the white yuppies in Lincoln Park are not going to respect other white yuppies that kill people. That social norm is not there with that.
What is a yuppie? What is that? That sounds like a word you could... Well, I don't know. I was going to say that sounds like a word you could look up, but I don't know. But what's a yuppie? I want to know what a yuppie is.
Population. And people say, well, is that an economic thing? No, it's really not an economic thing. I mean, even with rich gang members who are making millions off of dope at the top levels, they'll still respect each other for killing. You know what I'm saying? For being able to have the cold-heartedness to be able to kill. So, yeah, that's the situation with that. Now, I'm going to get back to Gakirah, though, in a little bit, because, this is... I mean, it's a heartbreaking situation. I see these girls that are getting no love from their parents, they're getting no love from their friends, and so they go for this respect. And like I said, most of them try to do it in a sexual way, but a few of them try to do it like Gakirah Barnes. I've never met a girl who's gone to the length that Gakirah Barnes did, where she's killing multiple people. If that in fact is what she was doing, I mean, people said that she was doing that. The cops never pinned anything on her, but if she was doing that, I've never met a girl who was going that far. I met a girl who killed her own kid. Because she didn't want her baby daddy to find out that she had cheated on him or something like that. I had a girl in class who had actually done that. She was supposed to be in my class.
That is freaking ridiculous. I ain't saying killing is right, but if we gotta make a decision, I guess it's gonna have to be suicide. Cause somebody gotta go, or you gonna lose custody. Cause if that happened, if I was the man and my girl cheated on me, I think I would just take custody. I ain't gonna kill nobody. I ain't gonna put my hands on nobody. But then that means that the mom is gonna be trying to get custody. Ain't it joint custody? Like where they do co-parent type of thing. When y'all break up, if she bring another dude around, now you gotta be like, dang, who is this dude around my kid? So in that sense of what he just said, I think you gotta go. You gotta go, or he gotta go. Somebody gotta go, because you can't. If you take the child out, first of all, that's messed up, because what did the child do? Then second, if you take him out, you don't really have to worry about trying to get custody. You don't have to really worry about trying to explain But then you're gonna feel bad because you already cheated. Then you took his life. But if you take your own, well, I don't know. You just gotta take your own. You gotta go.
She was absent one day, and then I looked at the paper, and it was my student who was being locked up for killing her own kid. This was in Humboldt Park.
She killed the kid?
But that's really the only girl that I've ever met who's ever committed murder, and that I've, in a way that I've known about. Now, I've known girls who reportedly had done hits, but no one that I had ever definitively found out had done that. But again, you know, these girls, I mean, they just go for this acceptance, like, it's like they just crave this. I mean, the acceptance of guys in these high schools is like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow for these chicks, man. They love it. They have to have it. They'll do anything to get it. You know, and, you know, people don't understand, like, why would a 17-year-old girl become a killer like this? Guys, I see these chicks doing stuff that you would never even, like, I remember there was this one girl at Sullivan High School, and, you know, for all you guys who graduated back in, like, 05, 06, you know the girl I'm talking about. She was from the west side, but she was going to school on the north side. She was a stone, a lady mo, okay, and I'm not gonna say her name. Everybody who was in this area at the time, probably everybody from this hood knows who I'm talking about. She was just crazy. She was so turned up, always bullying the other chicks, always making fun of the other chicks, always beating up other girls, always talking about stuff she was doing on the streets, and she was just like out of control, you know.
Okay.
And
I think I'm just stopping right here. It will be a part 2, so stay tuned for part 2 because this is not over. We 21 minutes in and it's a 44-minute video. Smash the like button, comment something you want to see below, and subscribe, click the bell, and join the gang. If you're new, then definitely subscribe because we're going nowhere but up. Follow me on my social medias. Definitely follow me on my Instagram, _is_Tania's_world, and follow me on my TikTok, _is_Tania's_world. Your girl posted another freaking picture on Instagram, and I will be posting some more TikToks, but today I won't be doing TikToks because I've been doing TikToks to freaking distract me from my cord being missing. Stay tuned for part 2 because it's not over. But until next time, remember, it's T-Gang or no gang. Out.